Okay, so here's a quick video of a jukebox that I've got in the shop here. This is a 1972 Rockola 448, and it's a 160 select machine, and it's in pretty good shape for a Rockola of this vintage. Now, I've had lots of Rockolas come and go, and I always say this about them. They tend to not age well because they're usually, the sides are all kind of wrecked on them, and the corners are chopped off, and the T-molding is not worth saving. In this case, the sides were actually quite nice. This is a pretty clean, clean machine. It's worn in places. I mean, it's undeniably, this is not a new machine, but overall, for a Rockola especially, it's cosmetically very nice, and it's aged very gracefully, I think. It isn't perfect. The art on this is sort of like I don't know if it's not really silk screened. It's like glass. It's like the same type of thing as you'd have on like an old pinball machine, like from the 60s or something. And if you've ever seen one of those, sometimes the artwork will peel and everything, and it'll look, it'll start to, the image will just get all messed up because it'll flake off inside. That does happen to these, and it had started a little bit. As you can see, there's little marks here, and so I thought, in my infinite wisdom, I was like, I can just paint that, and that's going to look fine. Well, it didn't, so I immediately stopped doing that after I had a look at kind of the results I was getting. I decided that I would just not bother with those little spots up there and just let it age gracefully, and really, I should never have bothered. I think I actually detracted from it. It's really nothing to worry about. There's barely any, there's a few odd spots in the front here. I think I just showed them all, and up top, basically, that's kind of the worst of it in this area. Overall, this machine shows well. It's a clean machine. It's an honest machine. It hasn't been messed around with. It's got all the proper art. It's got all the proper pieces. It's got the original coin box with the original bag for the money. I do not have the lock for this. I do have the main lock for the machine. What else can I tell you about this thing? It's aged, this is not mint condition, but this is what was in here when it was operating. This is kind of neat because, it's been untouched. It's been serviced, and everything that needs to be done to it has been done to it, but, I didn't have to get creative trying to hide things or trying to have to, figure out how to do something different than the way it was supposed to be done, or how to make something look okay. This is it. I mean, it's legit. It's a nice, clean, early 70s Rockola, so super reliable, and, once these things are set up, they just run forever and ever. And I'll see if I can lift the lid here. It's even pretty clean. Can I do this with one hand? I think I just did. All right, there you go. Yeah, so even under the hood, very clean. Usually these things are stained yellow inside from, being in bars. This is pretty remarkably clean, I'll be honest. It's I don't know, it's aged very gracefully, this machine. So anyway, that's enough about how it looks. Let's see how it sounds. So 1, 9, 7. Now with a magnetic cartridge, this thing should sound pretty good and has good range. You've got a solid state amplifier. By this time, Rockola really had sort of figured out their sound systems, and they were sounding pretty good. It sounds like it might be turned up kind of loud. Now I can't let too much of the video or of the music play because it'll get pulled down for copyright if I put this on YouTube, so I won't play it for too long, but just so you get an idea of the effect, kind of super 70s, ultra disco, very bassy, good sounding machine. And there you go. Cancel switches around back. So there you go. A nice clean and a nice honest Rockola 448. So yeah, there it is. Super cool.